Welcome back, TCGers. It's pre-release week. On my previous video, I was giving all of the leader rankings that I thought were the best in terms of sealed, or in this case, actually pre-release. I actually want to go a little bit step further, and I ranked Ray as the best leader to pick during pre-release. And I kind of just want to make a follow-up video just to kind of highlight some of the unit that I think work very well with Ray. Now, I don't want to call this a guide because there's no way you're going to get all these units that we talk about. It's not going to happen. But I just want to give you an idea how these units all synergize with Ray's ability, whether she's the leader side or the leader unit side. So all right, let's go ahead and get started. On the leader side, Ray is action, pay 1 resource, and exhaust. Give an experience token to a unit with 2 or less power. When you control 6 or more resources, deploy this leader. On the leader unit side, she is a 2/6 with restore 3, and it says on attack, you may give an experience token to a unit with 2 or less power. So keep in mind, when you declare your attack, you can also target yourself as Ray. So that means she'll get the experience token. She goes up to a 3/7, and then now you're hitting your opponent for the 3. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the cards. These are, I think, some of the best cards you could probably play on turn 1 with Ray. Now, again, I'm not saying you're going to have all these cards, but these are pretty decent cards because the fact that they got good abilities, or mostly they're just decent cards to play. My favorite from simulating sealed pools, I found that Moisture Farmer is really good. You can potentially play Moisture Farmer for 1 with your additional resource. You can tap Ray and pay the resource and give an experience token to the Moisture Farmer. The Moisture Farmer becomes a 1/5 at that point with Restore 2. So this is a great way to help keep your life above your opponent. Follower of the Way. It's a good also, like I said, it's another great unit to drop for your first turn, because you'll play Follower of the Way. If you're going first, you take initiative. And the very first thing you can do on your turn 2 is pay 1 resource and tap Ray, and then put the experience token on the Follower of the Way. So that would make him become a 2/4, but because while this unit is upgraded, it gets ++1/+1. So that would make him now become a 3/5. And a 3/5 is very powerful. Queel, he's also 2/3, but what makes him so good is that Restore 1. Again, if you drop him out your first turn 1 and you have initiative, the very first thing you do might be play Ray's ability. Again, the same theme is coming across. Grogu. I kind of like Grogu because you can technically do Ray's ability on him 3 times. Having Grogu being a 3/8, and then you can, if you can equip some type of weapon on him, oh man, Grogu becomes very powerful, and he's very tanky. And again, you could always use his action to exhaust. Even if he's at one attack, sometimes it's not worth it to attack. Sometimes it just might be worth exhaust one of their bigger unit. And then lastly, I kind of like the Gray Squadron Y-Wing. It's a 1/3. Again, means you can target him with Ray twice, but on attack, your opponent will choose a unit or base and they'll do 2 damage. So as this thing gets bigger, so let's say you do it twice, it becomes a 3/5, and then it's hitting for 2 damage. So it's hitting for 5 damage every attack, which is really good, right? 3 would be on base, and 2 could be on a unit, or 3 could be on 1 unit and 2 on another. And if let's say it's a single unit, well, you're going to be doing 5 damage, right? It's really good. Let's go ahead and look at the turn 2 units. We have Clan Wren Rescuer. I really like the Clan Wren Rescuer because of his Wind Plate ability. It gives an experience token to your unit. So let's say your previous turn you dropped your 2-drop, maybe Follower of the Way, right? You can then play the Clan Wren Rescuer. And it depends on the order of their operations, right? Depending on the power. If something's a power of 1 or 2, you probably want to use Ray's ability first, because Ray can only do it. It has 2 or less. That bumps up the power to 3. Then you play the Clan Wren Rescuer, and it gives it another experience token. Village Protectors is such an awesome card for helping protect your base on the ground side. It's a 2/2 Sentinel, and it comes in shielded. Literally, you can play Village Protectors. Your next turn, you definitely want to use Ray's ability to buff them up, because it'll help protect them. The Sundari Peacekeeper, same idea. but this guy has restore. He's a 1/5. You upgrade him with Ray's ability your next turn. He becomes a 2/6. He attacks for 4 and restores 2. You upgrade him again with Ray's ability. Now he becomes 3/7. And with Ray 2s, that means he has attacking for 5 and restoring 2. As you can tell, I talk about a lot of restore. And then I also like the Warshire Tree Tender. He's a 2/4 and has grit. You can give him one more experience with Ray here, and he becomes a 3/5. And now he can actually go in and attack. And now he's going to get even stronger. If you get the Clan Wind Rescuer later on, you can also put an experience token on your grit units, and they're going to become stronger. And then for a space unit, I want to talk about the Concord Dawn Interceptors. I think this was okay. It's a 1/4, but it gets +2 attack while defending. So again, if you buff it with Ray's ability twice, he becomes a 3/6, and then when he's defending, he's a 5/6, right? That's very powerful to protect your space, right? I think that's kind of like the turn 2 units that I like to play. Again, this is not an exhaustive list. I just want to highlight units that I tend to have been favoring more each of the rounds. All right, now we're going to talk about more of the mid-game units. So I want to talk about some of these guys, like Protector of the Throne. I could have technically put him in the last slide, but sometimes I pulled him and sometimes I pulled none. And this guy's a 2/4, and while this unit is upgraded, gains Sentinel, so it makes him a 3/5. I think he's great, but I think the next one that is actually better, it does cost 1 more, right? The Nima Outpost Constables, they're a 2/6. So that means you can use Ray's ability and he'll become a 3/7. That's a very powerful unit. Most leaders that are deployed might not even be able to kill them. There's only certain ones that can kill them, right? That's why I have the Protector Throne in here. Because when you do that Ray ability on him, he does become a Sentinel, but the Nima Outpost Constable's a way better unit. We talked about grit earlier. Wookiee Warrior, 2/5. Ray action becomes a 3/6. He has grit. And then he also has awesome, if you control another Wookiee unit, you draw a card. Gentle Giant. I definitely like Gentle Giant. Again, the same idea. He's a 2/8. You Ray ability one time. He's a 3/9. He has grit. He's the one that's going to help take out the smaller units, and he's going to become more powerful. And then on attack, you may heal damage from another unit equal to the damage on this unit. This is a great card. If your Ray is taking damage, you come in with Gentle Giant, heal a little bit, and then maybe your next turn you can swing in hard. I like also, if I can, like I said, you can put 1 experience token on him to get him to a 3/9. If you got the previous card we talked about, the Mandalorian that gives experience counter, I would probably do it on him too, because now he becomes a 4/10. That's very dangerous. And now you're going to go swing in for a unit. Let's say he does 4 damage. He takes 4 damage. Well, now he's an 8 attack. And then Chewbacca, again, grit is very good. We're going to be, we can't use Ray's ability with him, but when you do play him, you can defeat a unit that has 5 or less remaining HP. And I think this might be one of the cards you could potentially smuggle as well, because you might not need him in the beginning. This is just going to help you finish out the game. There are a lot more cards, but again, I was just targeting grit units. And then there's also sometimes where you can actually maybe give them a shield, and then maybe that can protect them a little bit longer so that you can hit harder towards your enemy's base. All right, now I want to talk about some events. The best event that I personally think that's best with Ray is Covert Strength. It's a 1-cost event. It says heal 2 damage from a unit and give it an experience token. Let's think about some of our Sentinels, like the Village Protectors, right? You can action, give them one experience with Ray's ability. If they took damage somewhere and they didn't die, now go ahead and do the Covert Strength, heal them, and then now you give them an experience token. Now they're getting stronger. This also applies to your bigger Wookiees. Some would say, why would you heal it? You're going to reduce the unit's power. That is true, but you're only really reducing it by 1, because the grit is 2, but because you're giving them one experience token, you're actually increasing the attack and increasing the life by 1. So all you're really losing is 1 attack. but you're gaining one additional defense, which I think is pretty big. You don't have to use it on the Wookiees if you want. This is a great way to help keep Rey alive if you have her deployed, because she just heals for so much. Bravado, I found this card being very awesome when you're very close to trying to finish out the game. You know, you just got to make sure you defeat one of your opponent's any enemy, and then you can go play this for 3. So imagine if you have a Wookiee, a big Wookiee, and he's coming in for 7, 8 damage, right? You manage to use one of your other units to kill a unit. You attack with your Wookiee, you play Bravado for 3, you attack for your Wookiee again. And if he had 7 attack, he's going to be doing 14 damage in that turn. That should be enough to pretty much seal any game. Fell the Dragon, it allows you to defeat a non-leader unit with 5 or more power. So if somehow someone brings in a Ranker or whatever it is, you can quickly kill it. Rivals Fall, that's just busted. It defeats a unit. That's a leader unit, whatever it is. So I would, if you have one, probably be good to have one in your deck. And then Midnight Repairs allows you to heal 8 damage from any number of units. So if you have a lot of units that aren't grit, maybe some of your Sentinels are really banged up, this might be a good time to come and heal all your Sentinel units, protect your base, while you can go on the offensive and attack your opponent. All right, I also want to highlight a couple of bounties and upgrades, right? So the first one is the Vat Brace Grapple Shot. It's a 2-cost item here, upgrade here. So it says attach to non-vehicle unit, attaching it on attack exhausts the defender. It's a +2/+2, right? So again, this is again, it gives you +2 attack and +2 defense. I found this, putting this on your Sentinel units, it's pretty good, especially if you have a shield on your Sentinel units. You can probably go in and attack the larger unit or the more powerful unit that's on your opponent's board. You're not going to take any damage because you have that shield, but you immediately will be able to exhaust that powerful unit so they can't threaten your life base. So I think it's one of the upgrades I kind of like to have with the Rey deck. Rich Reward, this is probably my favorite bounty. And I think include this bounty in almost every single deck I've played so far. The ability to give experience tokens up to 2 of your units is just good. And in one of my sealed pulls, I pulled 3 of these. And I was able to get my village protectors extremely powerful. I think I was able to play 2 of them on her on top of the Rey. So it ends up being 3 experience tokens. So they're a 5/5 Sentinel with a shield. And then I've also used one of these next cards that we'll talk about, Public Enemy, to help give them a shield. Wanted allows you to ready 2 friendly sources. It's an okay bounty, but I think sometimes you do want to have the additional resources so that you can potentially play your rich rewards or your other 1-cost units that help you, get a better board presence. It's not the best bounty, but I found myself liking it, but don't force it, right? It has to be like, you have to have the ability to actually take out one of your opponent's units that turn. And then Public Enemy, again, I like this simply because it can give a shield token to a unit. And that's very powerful to help protect your Sentinels, and then also help heal them up if needed. And it's very good once you have a pretty powerful grit unit. You don't want them to die. You can put that token on the shield token on them, and then let them go to town. That was kind of everything I wanted to talk about. Kind of give a broad overview of how I tend to use Rey during my pre-release pulls that I've been testing and simulating with. I found these cards tend to be the ones that tend to help me win the game more. This is not supposed to be a comprehensive guide on how to build a Rey deck in a pre-release. It's kind of spotlighting certain cards that I think are very good with Rey. Now, you might not always have the best blue pulls, but right, you want to have a lot of these cards that we talked about, because I do feel like it makes Rey stronger. Are there other cards that are better? Yes, but I found these tend to be, if you can get any mixture of some of these, depending on what aspects you go, right? These will definitely help you win the game. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Let me know if you've had any chance to open some packs and see what you did this pre-release. Let me know what you liked. What cards you liked in your Rey deck. If you did play Rey, tell me what cards you didn't like. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. I'm curious to see what other people think. And then if you haven't seen my previous video where we ranked the leaders, I'm gonna go ahead and put it up here so you can just go ahead and click on it and I can talk. You'll see what I think some of the better leaders are for your pre-release events. Anyways, thank you for your time. Have fun during your pre-release, guys. Bye.